Hey there, me again. Did I mention that we'd love for you to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel because we have a lot of good stuff still to come. And how great would it be to create some community around this conversation? Take a moment to share your comments, your insights, and your thoughts in the comment section below, where you'll also find a few additional resources we've created for you. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to RealityChek Conversations. I'm Tanya Trivoni, and today I'm joined by Catherine Burdett. I'm super excited to have Catherine with us today. She is a powerhouse of wisdom and knowledge on the topic of emotional intelligence, resilience, and self-care that we're going to be looking at. And you can read more about Catherine's background by clicking on the link below this video. But for now, let's just jump into the conversation. Catherine, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Well, me too. I know that you have a lot to share with us, and the topic that we want to talk about is self-care for leaders. I know that from my conversations with a lot of folks, people are really struggling right now to stay grounded, especially as this continues to get extended. So I'm wondering if you can share a little bit about your perspective on why self-care matters so much, and then share maybe 2 or 3 strategies that we can start to implement immediately.
Yeah, great questions. And really, self-care is critically important all of the time, but no more, right? Critically important right here and right now. Because if you don't have something to draw from, then you really can't be helping other people. Yeah. And others are looking to us, you know, in our families and in our workplaces right now to be able to support them. And as we talk about, you know, putting that proverbial oxygen mask on, when we fill our bucket of energy and care, then we are more likely capable to be able to support others.
Yeah, absolutely. So the magic question, what are some great things that we should be doing to do that?
Well, and you know, this is really just a few ideas to think about today. And it's individual as well, because people are in all different sorts of places in terms of how they take care of themselves. You know, I love emotions. Emotions would be the first place that we need to check in with, is how am I feeling? And how does how I'm feeling impact the way that I behave? So there's a piece around paying attention to our emotions. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. The other piece then is where do I need to ask for help? You know, how do I ask for help? Because as leaders at work and at home, oftentimes we're not very good at asking for help. And the other piece I would really want to talk a little bit more about is a practice of gratitude, or a practice of appreciation. Because we know that when we feel appreciative, it tends to lift up our energy levels as well. And who couldn't use just a little bit more energy in these times of challenge and change? So yeah, the first one is really around emotions. You know, there as guideposts for us. How are we feeling in this moment? And I noticed for myself over these last many weeks is that I'm traversing a really incredible emotional landscape. And I can feel so many different emotions just in the space of a short period of time. Do you feel that same experience?
And it has been a roller coaster. I will say the beginning was probably the toughest. And by beginning, I mean at least 3 weeks. And now I'm sort of starting to find a groove, but still it's a day-to-day thing.
Well, and so what's so important about that is to be okay with wherever it is that we are with our emotions, right? And like we said, we're going to have some elevated ones and some ones that drain our inner energy. But when you can notice it, that's a critical piece, that self-awareness, being aware of how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. But even more importantly is about even saying it out loud. You know, I'm feeling a real low energy today, or I'm feeling demotivated today, or I'm feeling appreciative today. When we name the emotion, now we've got something that we can do something with, right? And we also then in that moment create a choice point, you can say, which is very empowering to know that if I can see how I'm feeling, I can name how I'm feeling, now I actually can create some other choices for what it is that I want to do about it. Do I want to stay where I am, or would I like to shift out of how this feels?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think all of us who are, A-type personalities hearing that, rather than just trying to ignore, drive through, push past how we're feeling, is that pause and that acknowledgement so that you can maybe make a new choice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the pause point only comes when we're able to step back.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we're in a reactionary place, right? So we want to create the pause point. Another little tip about creating that pause point, pardon me, is just to step back and actually consciously breathe. Take, a few cycles of breath at a pace that's slower and deeper than you would normally breathe. It's an automatic thing. We don't think about breathing, and yet this can be one of your most powerful and simple strategies here and now, is just to consciously deep breathe.
It's simple, but as you said it, I actually took a breath that was far deeper than how I was breathing, and you can feel the automatic calming. So as simple as it is, I don't think we're in the habit of breathing deeply. So that's
Right.
good. That's a good one.
So
Okay.
that's, there you go. The next one I think, is really around taking time to ask for help. Everything is different than it's been. So we've got to be able to, as we say, pivot or change how we approach things. Ask for the help that you need, whether that's in your organization or whether that's at home. And don't expect that everything has to be exactly the way that it's been, because it can't possibly be. Recognize why it's difficult for you to ask for help. Probably one of the greatest challenges is asking for help. Why? Because it makes me feel like I'm weak, or,
Yeah.
I don't have this covered off. Well, it actually also then gives permission for others to ask for help as well. And so taking the time to recognize when you could use a little more time or space, or have somebody pitch in the house as you're trying to be on your workplace calls. These are really important pieces. And again, it's something that we can control, which is empowering and motivating to keep us going in the direction.
Yeah, that's a powerful reminder. It can be tough. I agree, to ask for help.
Yeah. It's
And
humbling.
it is, but it also, I love that human component, right? So as if we as leaders can do it, again, giving that permission space to employees, and maybe it's even asking for help from our employees. One thing, to your point that you had mentioned, is we're in this together, and a lot of people are looking to help and to be of service. So this is a good
Yeah.
time to ask.
Well, and if you connect it to an emotion, it actually makes people feel good when they can support and when they can help. So it works for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. The third piece that we were going to talk about was just taking time to be appreciative. Taking time to just hold your attention and focus on the many blessings maybe that we have, or the many wonderful things that are happening in the midst of all of these, because what we pay attention to actually can help fuel us moving forward. And appreciation is one of the greatest emotions we can feel, that actually helps lift up our energy. And it really changes then how we support ourselves. It's a very self-caring kind of a strategy that you can take. What are the things that you're grateful for today?
Yeah, I love that. So you really snuck in four. I mean, three strategies, but one had like a second point. So identify the emotion and name it. You talked about using the breath. You talked about asking for help, and also about gratitude. And that last point is a beautiful segue into the question that I want to ask as we close this. And what is one thing that either you're grateful for, or a positive thing that you're seeing coming out of this crisis situation?
Yeah, I'm really grateful for the opportunity for us to slow down so that we can really decide how it is that we want to really emerge from all of this. And I think we're really experiencing ourselves almost for the first time in a really different way. The busyness is falling away, and now we're being able to experience what it is to really be human and really connect with one another, which is what we're really hardwired to do.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And this concludes this edition of RealityChek Conversations. If you got something of value today, please take a moment to share this with friends and family, and to subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much for watching.